you cannot claim a queer identity and be a Christian, because that is an attack against the creation ordinance. Your job, my job, is to live as close to the creation ordinance as I can. And to suggest that God can't change your desires makes no sense to me. Now, again, I'm not saying he changes them quickly, but the idea that you were born a man. If you were born a man, you were actually born for the purpose of, if should the Lord will, marrying a woman and having children. That is your creational identity. Now, many of us have an indwelling sin that just is, that finds that somewhat abhorrent, actually, in our sin. But then when Christ redeems our mind, I'll tell you that one of the first things that I really did find my homosexuality abhorrent. At the same time, I couldn't figure out what to do with it. It was like sort of like dealing with a robber in the house. Like all the things that people were telling me weren't working. Locking the doors doesn't keep the robber out of your house if he's hiding behind me in the closet. And so that was some of the things I needed to learn. And you do have to teach, and there's a good bit of biblical counseling that we all need to learn in that way. But you can be no help to your child if you believe the indoctrination. And that comes from a Christian world that has overvalued empathy and undervalued sympathy. I'm not saying that there's never a reason to empathize with a person. There's many, many good situations where you would want to stand in someone's shoes. But if somebody is standing in sin and walking the road to hell, you don't want to stand in their shoes. You want to stand on firm ground and throw them a rope. And this is where you need to listen to the voices of detransitioners. I would really commend to you a dear sister in Christ, Laura Perry Smaltz, whose book From Transgender to Transformed is really prophetic for this moment. She lived as a transgendered, quote unquote, man for many, many years, testosterone, full beard, all of that. And when she came to Christ, she returned to the faith of her parents. And when asked, why didn't you go to a church that was more progressive or one that understood your story or all that? She said, well, why would I return to the liars? I went to the people who never lied to me. And so, let's remember that John 8:31 is where you need to be as a mom, as a dad. You need to abide in the truth, because the truth will set you free and the truth will set your child free. But that doesn't mean it's easy. It's going to be a long haul, and you need to be in a faithful church, not a heretical one, so that you can have hundreds of other parents, Christian parents, praying for their prodigals too. You're not alone.